Hey everybody, Ronaldo Waffman here with Compushow Video Manuals. I am super stoked to show you this brand new feature. It is going to be in the June beta. I want to say it's after June 21st. If you guys are interested in trying that out, make sure you join the Compushow group on Facebook. It's a very small update, but it now makes Compushow an even better busking tool than it already was. So first of all, I want to show you my layout because pretty much all our shows are bust. Our master page, I use it for all the floods because we have different kinds of flood fixtures for different types, whether it's the ADJ dots matrix or the dots pars or the hex 5Ps or the tripar profiles, or we have different many kinds of floods. We control everything from the master page. So that's why you can see here we just have different color swaps. Now we keep it very simple. We have basically different color swaps in different colors where we can change the speed, phasing, etc. And we also have where it fades from step to step. Let me slow that down for a second. So instead of just actually doing a regular chase, it fades in. Now the problem with that is that whenever we are doing, we want to do more colors, or if we have more than just 4 floods and we want to get really creative, it's going to quickly fill up the master page with multiple programs. And for the longest time, I've been trying to figure out what is the easiest and fastest way that I can program, because with multiple lights, multiple events, I want to kind of keep things, congruent from one type of event to the other. So now let's open up our palette editor. If you've not seen the palette video to know what palettes are, make sure you guys watch that video first, because the palette editor has changed in one dramatic way. Let me show you something real quick. If you look over here, you'll see, for example, I just have a couple basic spots. I have a palette for my focus spot, which allows me to set my focus. But then I have 2 generic colors. And what happens is, if I quickly grab this one and I make it blue, and then let's say I grab this one over here, which is white, and I want to make it yellow, then I have to close my palette editor, and then these themes are under here in the flood themes, those would work. That has all changed with this button right here, DMX output. Let me explain to you the way that the palette editor works, because if I actually open up my fixtures page, you can actually see that it works, right? It should be working, but yet it's not. So a lot of you have asked, well, hold on a second, why can I see my shows going with the palette editor open, but the actual output isn't? This is the actual output on my capture window. Well, the reason is because Compushow is putting out a DMX signal, but the palette editor overrides that DMX signal. So imagine that the palette editor is another DMX program, and it's basically overriding the signal of that. So you're only seeing what you're editing in the current palettes. And to be able to use these palettes live required a bit of trickery that I've done before. It's a pain. Simply put, shut off the DMX output, and now it gives you blind editing. So let me show you how exciting that is. Let's say I have right now one of my flood themes that I've made. We'll choose the theme Night Rider. All right, and there it is there between blue and yellow. But now let's say I just want to make that red and green. So I'm going to select my color 2. Then I'm going to go to color 1. And I'll just go back to, switch out of it. And now it's going to be red and green, just like that. And you can see that in the output here. If I go back again, if I want to quickly switch it from, green, I just want to make that orange. Now it's red and orange. Now, these are not instantaneous, meaning that I have to click out of it into a next one, but that's really not a big deal. And make sure your autosave is on. That way that palette saves itself automatically. Now, this is not only good for color floods. You could also use it if you have, for example, a show that maybe follows a person around and maybe goes back and forth, let's say between the mirror ball and the DJ, but now the DJ moved to a different location, so now you can quickly move that palette on the spot to follow the DJ around, and the lights could continue on with a regular program, and you're doing it live, which is phenomenal. It allows the ultimate bit of busking. But now, what does this mean for my events and the events that my DJs do? I can get rid of, I still have this basic flood color swaps, but now I can create multiple themes that use the palettes. I can do 2 color, 3 color, single color, 4 color, and instead of having to create different color combinations, I just create chases and we can choose them pretty much right on the spot. Again, the ultimate tool for busking, and I can do it, as a master override, or I can do my generic palette per fixture type. Again, just having that, we're going to call it blind editing mode, but being able to shut off the DMX output from the palette editors allows you to control your palettes and change them live. So you definitely check it out. Very cool. I'm a big fan of it. Again, just to show you a quick example, I've got a theme already done here. So I'm going to choose blue. Now I'm going to have white. Click out of there again. And there it is. Blue and white, ready to go. Instantaneous. It's a little bit laggy on this one because I'm running parallels and capture, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff running in the background, but on your computer it should run significantly smoother. So that's one of the big things that I'm absolutely excited about. There's a couple other features that are out there, but I'm going to discuss that in other videos. But again, new blind editing mode in the palette editor. Just look for this DMX output window. My name is Ronaldo Hoffman of Gear It First, here with Compushow Video Manuals. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to share this with your friends, with other Compushow users, other lighting designers, whichever. And if you are a Compushow user, join us on Facebook. Just search Compushow User Support Group. We also welcome the CompuLive and Emulation Pro users to our group as well. You guys have a great evening, and God bless.